there. And those of you who watched my last live didn't know, apparently, that on air was actually a sign I have right here on my desk, lit up beautifully. Yes, it's not a stock picture. It's real, as everything with my channel is real. Is real. So we've got things to talk about today. We're going to be mostly Christmas based today, but linked up with things that I normally do. And of course, my birthday is done, so Christmas is now legally allowed. There's not much Christmas going to be happening in this house, but we'll get to that in a later video. First, we need to do this. Okay, so the puzzle today, let's keep it Christmas party based. A man drank a bowl of punch at the beginning of a party and he was fine. So he drank out of the punch bowl. No other ingredients were added or in the cups that people drank from, but everybody who drank after that first man was poisoned. How come? So let's say that again. A man drank out of a bowl of punch at the beginning of a party and was fine. That same punch bowl, no other ingredients were added and nothing were in the cups that people drank from, but everybody who drank after that first person was poisoned. How come? That's a good one for today. That's a good one. And while you're pondering on that, let's go over and check out the comments. We have Steve and Tina Jewel, hello to you, welcome. Rex Trion, Sharon and Jackson, hello to you, how are you doing? Haven't seen you for a while. Steve and Tina Jewel saying hello to you, and you're saying hello back to Steve and Tina. Steve has done his amazing moderator work and putting the link there for you, Sharon. Sharon says, oh, thank you, Steve. Merry Christmas, everybody. And Steve and Tina Jewel say Merry Christmas. Definitely got the festive spirit going right there, indeed. You can see I've been busy. Freshly made for this year. Sharon says, I've been extremely busy. Steve say, no, do not snow. No fun for me. No, be very careful, Steve. Anyone who doesn't know, Steve's had major surgery and falling down would not be good. You be careful out there. Sharon saying, not too busy today. Bad weather. Ooh, it's high winds, chilly outside today. Ooh. Okay, let's have a go. I've got a lot of scrolling up and down to do with all these extra bits I've been added on. I've got to zip up and down the interludes down the side here, so bear with. So this is a little bit about Cyprus Christmas in Cyprus, a very religious country. And it says here, fasting begins 40 days before Christmas on St. Philip's Day, which is the 14th of November. And this period is called Sarakosti, 40 days fast. As one is not allowed to marry after this date until after Christmas. You might ask why? Well, because it's so religious, it's about the Christmas rather than about getting married. Single women are then teased about this because they know they won't be able to be married until after them. They are told to wipe their lips if they have missed the chance of feasting for this year, meaning marriage. Marriage is a very serious affair, especially for girls. The weeks before Christmas are very busy ones for women. They clean the house, sew new clothes for the children, and do lots of baking during the last week. In the old days of villages, the pig that had been reared that year would be slaughtered on the 24th in the backyard. This was to commemorate Herod's ordering for the slaughtering of all newborn boys on that day. But nowadays, pigs are killed, obviously, in the slaughterhouse every day, and the old custom has lost its religious flavour. Everyone in the village is busy making lots of foods. Large earthen jars are then filled with the fat from meat in which the sausages are preserved. The local sausages are made of coarsely cut up meat and fat, and these, as well as others, are soaked and cured in wine. The hirameri is also pressed with large stones before it's dried and smoked in the family chimney. Lutza is covered with coriander seeds and pressed and also smoked. The custom of decorating trees and of giving presents at Christmas has been adopted by families in the towns and is a really rather recent acquirement. Yeah, a lot of people I know wouldn't even give Christmas cards in Cyprus. It's never been a thing at all. In the villages, even in the towns, many families do exchange presents, but on New Year's Eve. A few days before Christmas, children go round caroling with their little money boxes. On Christmas Eve, the small gnome-like creatures arrive. These are said to come to Earth for 12 nights and roam around doing all sorts of mischief. They're believed to be either the spirits of children who died before being baptised, hence why they're naughty, or of grown-ups who had no one to sit vigil during the night after their death. It is said they are ugly and mischievous because the devil or evil spirit was not exorcised from them. These little fellows roam all over the waters and settle in the glens near rivers, roaming around the village after midnight, teasing weary travellers and scaring women folk, stealing the sausages from the chimneys and playing all sorts of harmless jokes. They also dirty the water supply and babies' clothes, which must not hang on the line after sundown. Therefore, before they arrive, women go and cut olive branches from church properties, and with these, dipped in holy water, they sprinkle their houses and doors, and then cover their water supplies and jugs with them as a protection from the pranks of the little gnome folk. Should you ever meet one, you can scare it off by making the sign of the cross 3 times, by showing it a black-handled knife or a red thread. They are also terrified if you spit on them or show them a chameleon, at the sight of which they run away in horror. But those simple people are afraid of the Kalikansari, which are the gnome-like elves. On the one hand, they will put out platefuls of goodies if there has been a dead baby in the family who died before being baptised, so the little gnome elf folk are sure of something nice to eat when they come. They stay until the eve of Epiphany Day, At midnight on the 3rd of January, which is the eve of Canelda Day, holy water is made at the church, and all the women in the village go with their troughs and take some of the water with which they will bake their lucumades, little like syrup donuts, basically. And on the 4th, all the houses are sprinkled from room to room with the holy water by the priest to clean them of any evil spirits. It's on this day too that the women fry sirotania and sausages, of which the first plateful is thrown by the children on the roofs for the farewell party of the gnomes, while they jump about singing little gnome songs. So that's basically where we're going there, and maybe we'll continue with Christmas Day on a later live. So we're going to be all Christmas themed ones until Christmas. Let's have a look. Got to go back a bit. Oh, lots of chat. Where are we? Sharon's saying, Steve, take it extremely easy. Prayers and love. Steve says we have very dark sky this morning. Sharon says, same here. 100% rain. It's been raining all night. Excuse me, all night and all morning this morning. Steve says, we have lots of rain as well. No rain here. Sharon says, oh, it's just me, Sharon, Steve, and Steve Jackson's at school. When does he stop school? When do you stop school in that country? When do they stop school in America? It's the last day of school. And when do they go back? When do they go back? Steve said mountains are covered in snow. Yes, some nice pictures I'm looking forward to. Steve's just got a video coming up, and it's his Airbnb holiday. So do go and take a look at that. Sharon says, Steve, I can imagine how cold that is. Steve says 3 degrees C this morning. Heating is on. I would think so. Sharon says, Steve, it was 64 degrees. I assume you're talking Fahrenheit. I'm sure you're talking Fahrenheit. This morning, it's now 60 degrees with rain. I think when I say my temperatures, some people get mixed up because I talk centigrade, same as Steve, but a lot of American friends speak Fahrenheit. Steve says, roll on spring and summer. Sharon says, laugh out loud, Steve, that's still too far away. Laugh out loud. That's very funny. And how rude of me, I didn't say hello to you all with a little interlude. Ooh, I'm playing it. It's very slow. It's whirring. Ooh. So hello to you all. Thank you for being here. No one's come up with an answer yet for the puzzle piece. Ooh, no one's come up with an answer for the puzzle piece. And talking of puzzle pieces, those of you who get it right, if you get it right before the end of my live, before I have to give the answer, you get my little applause. And also, I give my little interlude applause piece if you come up with something really funny in the chat. And some of you have come up with some real funny ones. If you've been watching my lives quite a lot, you would have seen. And if you come up with something so funny, I play the applause interlude bit because it's so funny. It's a little thing. If you get the applause by something funny you put in the comments, I don't mean you put a joke. I'm saying you comment back to what I'm talking about, and it's really funny. Then I give you the applause. It's like a little, wow, I got the applause for saying that. Well done, me. So I thought I would do this, an award for the person who has had the most applauses given by me in my lives. so well done, Steve. We've had some. Oh, Steve saying, wow. Oh, thank you. I tend to do the end of the year. I tend to do some fun little award thing. Yeah, so you've got the Standing Ovation Award. I do something different each year. And I only thought today, while I was doing those other little interludes, I thought, oh, I know. Yay for Steve. Yes, yay for Steve. And I'll see if I can remember to play that, seeing as I took time making that. I'll see if I can remember to play it all through until Christmas. So if I forget to play it, Steve, just put a little comment, what about my award? And then I'll remember to play it. So that gives you a nice shout out to your channel as well, to thank you for all those fun chats. Really, a lot of you have done really funny things, but soz, but Steve won the most. There's been some real funny ones. Okay, let's do a little bit of catch up with my craft, show you the update on my craft. So just getting it. This is my cross stitch that I'm doing. I have done some more. A lot more. Oh, I haven't got my light on. You're not going to be able to see it at all, are you? Do I look darker today? Oh, there we go. I've got to turn it down though a bit. Turn it down a bit because it's too bright for me. Way too bright. There we go. That's better. Okay, so I have done some more. A lot of the dark blue. We have done more of. Da, da, da. Can you guess what it is yet? No, it's not a tunnel. I think it looks like a road going into a tunnel. That's what I would guess. I would guess a road going into the tunnel. And as I say, that line at the bottom isn't the bottom. That's the middle. That's the middle. So, and these are very small stitches. Very small. I have to really concentrate. And if it gets dark, if we get a dark winter, I won't be able to do any more because I have to sit in my sun lounge where it's nice and bright. I've got a white dining table and I can see what I'm doing. So, yes, that's coming along nicely. Okay, let's have a look at the chat. Where are we? We're here. Sharon says, Dawn, how's the weather there? What are you at today? I was saying the other day, Cyprus doesn't really do weather forecast. It's either hot, very hot, extremely hot, not so hot, or a bit chilly today, rain, or a little cold. I can't tell you temperatures. I must look because some of you do ask. I was saying it's now night, like early evening, night. It's 6 p.m. now, 6 p.m. at night. During the day, you can have a short sleeve t-shirt on. That's the weather, short sleeve t-shirt. If you're doing work in the garden, you feel too hot wearing a t-shirt. So you could wear vest top or something like that. But if you're just like being normal, a short sleeve t-shirt during the day. First thing in the morning, last thing at night, I've got a thin sweatshirt on now. That's what it is. If it gets, we've had a few chilly days, then we put a jumper on, but no more than that. You don't need coats or anything unless you're going out something silly like 5 o'clock in the morning or very late at night, then you'd put a coat on. So if that helps, that's all I can tell you, really. That's all I can tell you. Steve says the punch. Right. Steve's responding to my puzzle. A man drunk from a bowl of punch at the beginning of a party, and he was fine. Nothing was added or put into the cups, but everybody who drank after that from that same punch bowl was poisoned. How come? Steve saying the punch had a bug that gets stronger as time passes. You're on the right track, but you haven't got the answer. drink bug. Drink bugs. Sharon's laughing. No, I get that. You're very close. You're on the right track, Steve. You're on the right track, but that's not the answer. So there's something there. You're very close. You're certainly on the right lines. You're doing well. Poison bug. It's not a bug or an insect got into it in any way. And I'm going to tell you, something was in there from the very beginning. That's a big clue. Nothing came in after. Sharon saying that's great, Dawn. I'd be wearing shorts and sleeves. I'll try and speak English for you. It helps. I'll be wearing shorts and short sleeve t-shirt. Yes. The punch had virus. No. The punch did not have a virus. No. Drunk poison bug. Nothing came into it later. No, nothing came later. You're on the right tracks. Virus. No virus. Didn't have virus. The first man was fine. Nothing else got into it after that. You're kind of getting there. You're on the right tracks, but you've slightly derailed. Forget the bugs. That gives me a moment to get my brain back in gear. Decease. You're going off the rails now. Okay, let's do this. So, if you haven't done your Christmas shopping yet, here's a little warning for you. Over the last month, I've become a victim of a clever... I'll try and put my vowels in the right places. Over the last month, I've become a victim of a clever Eastern European scam while out shopping. Simply dropping into the supermarket for a bit of shopping turned out to be quite an experience. Don't be naive enough to think it couldn't happen to you or your friends. Here's how the scam works. Two seriously good-looking, voluptuous 20 to 21-year-old girls come over to your car as you're packing your shopping into the boot trunk of your car. They both start cleaning your windscreen, their chest almost falling out their skimpy t-shirts. When you thank them and offer them a tip, they'll say no and instead ask you for a lift to the centre of town. You agree, and they both get in the back of the car. On the way, they start undressing until both are completely naked. Then, when you pull over, one of them climbs over in the front seat and starts crawling all over your lap, kissing you, touching you, thrusting herself against you, while the other one steals your wallet. I had my wallet stolen on November the 4th, November the 9th, November the 10th, twice on the 15th, the 17th, 20th, 24th and 29th. On December the 1st, December the 4th, December the 6th, twice yesterday. So please warn other older men you know to be on the lookout for this scam. The best times if you want to go is just before lunch at about 4:30 in the afternoon. It's quite fun. Quite fun. Let's see. We're still thinking of the puzzle piece, which is brew punch. No, Steve, you've completely gone off the tracks now. You're heading in the wrong direction now. Disease, says Sharon. No disease. I misspelt disease. That's right. I misread anyway. Where's this? Where's what? The scam? It's a joke. It's a joke. You probably typed that before I got to the end bit. It's a joke. Basically, yeah, these women clamber all over the man and do all things to him, so he keeps going back. Oh dear. Okay, we haven't done today's quote corner, so let's find. Ooh, hello, what are we on now, Dawn? Let's find Wednesday's quote corner and do that. Oh, Steve was there before the punchline. Where's this? I want to go. Very good, yes. Did you write the joke? I think you wrote the joke. Steve saying mushrooms in punch. That's a good answer. No, you were closer at the very beginning. Closer at the very beginning. You're drifting. You're all on the wrong station now. Wrong platform. Okay. Little twist on this today. So instead of a natural garden update, I thought I would read you about holly trees or holly bushes. And it's called, I think you pronounce it ilex. I-L-E-X. Ilex. That's the real term for a holly. And it says, the holly, in general, prefers a rich, rather acid soil. With generous watering and some shade, a number of evergreen species make successful hedges and bushes and make interesting specimen plants. Since holly is unisexual, a male pollinator is required to fertilise the female trees in order to produce the attractive berries that are one of the feature of the genus. The roots resend damage, so use pot-grown plants carefully, planted in early autumn, and mulch around them rather than cultivate the soil to any great depths. And then there's different types, one of which is a hybrid shrub or small tree and has numerous varieties. One is Golden King with edges of its leaves is one of the more attractive. Amongst the best hollies for dry climates are some compact, free-fruiting varieties developed in California, such as Dazzler. In these, the leaves are almost square in shape. So, a little bit of interest there of holly. Any more guesses yet? No guesses yet. No more guesses. So here's something that you might want to watch if you've got grandchildren, children, or you just want a bit of a laugh over Christmas. This is on my other channel, Tranquility Through Life's Natural Beauty. And this is the playlist of The Gingerbread Men. And it's a story all about a gingerbread man and family and friends that he meets. It's a whole series, playlist. Go take a look. So as I say, that's on my other channel, Tranquility Through Life's Natural Beauty. I just pop it up there on the ticker tape, Tranquility Through Life's Natural Beauty. So that's something for you to go and watch there. Any more guesses on the puzzle? If you're just joining me, today's puzzle for you to answer is: a man drinks out of a bowl of punch. He is fine. Nothing is added to it, nothing gets in it, but then everyone who drinks after him are all poisoned, and there's nothing wrong with their cups. So how come? How come? How come? How come? Let's see. Sharon saying, Steve, you got any more guesses? I give up. No. Do you want the answer yet? Tell me if you want the answer. Sometimes I'm going to do the answer and people are like, no, not yet. Let me think. It's simple if you know the answer. I'm just rolling because I've got caught under the leg of the chair. That'll teach me to jump over there and do something while that last clip was playing. Oh dear. So, hope you like that. Hope you like that. Let's see, do you want the answer? Yes, says Sharon, yes. Steve says the punch goes bad because of the heat. That's a good thought. That is not it. Sour punch, says Sharon. Steve says, yes, you indulge. Answer, please. Answer, please. Okay. So, reading it one more time. A man drinks out of a bowl of punch at the beginning of the party and he's absolutely fine. Nothing's added to it or gets in it. Nothing's in the cups. Nothing wrong with the cups. But everybody who drinks after that was poisoned. How come? And the answer is poison was already in there in ice cubes. And then as they melted, the poison was released. Stale punch, says Sharon. So you were kind of there on poison, but I said nothing got put in later, so you had to get how it was already in there. And yeah, well done. So today then, that means the applause goes to Dawn. You caught me. You caught me. Oh, it's like I have a chair with wheels. I just like slide on back into view. Okie doke. Let's have a look. Well done. So Steve said the heat. That you had all the elements, Steve, but you didn't put them all together. You mentioned poison. You mentioned the heat. You mentioned something in there later. There we go. Well done, says Steve. Sharon says, no wonder, never have gotten the punchline. Oh, well done to you, Sharon. Well done. I've just played the applause, but that would have been an applause for you. Do you want it? It's only fair that you get it. They're the kind of things that get the applause. So already Sharon is one up on the applauses for this new season. Let's do this. Okay, Q&A time. Let me get a pencil so I can mark off anything, so I tend not to repeat. Now, I've just had my birthday, as you all well know. Dawn is old. The question is, what is your perfect birthday? Apart from being really ill, I did have a pretty good day leading up to that. It was just late in that evening, and it wasn't because of what I drank before you start. Steve saying, Steve says, not a punch drinker. I'll check for ice, though, if I do any this Christmas. One of these Christmas themes, videos, lives, I think I'm going to show you some of the stuff I've got for Christmas, as in drinks. Drinks. But that'll be another video, so I'll tell you all about that. But yeah, the question, what's your perfect birthday? Having a nice drink, having a nice meal. It's nice to go somewhere or do something, make it a different day to normal. I've still got videos coming up. I've only still edited the first one to show you traveling there and the place where we stayed. It's very unique, very unique. But next Monday I will be editing some more, because I edit Monday and Wednesdays. So Monday I edit for this channel, and now Wednesdays I'm editing for my other channels because they don't post so often. So this is my new plan. Monday edit for this channel, Wednesday edit for the other channels. Steve saying dinner with family. Yes, I like to go out to eat. That's my hobby, because A, you get to go out. 2, you get to socialise, whether it be with friends you go with or socialise with your partner one-to-one without distractions, and it's just nice to be waited on. So I prefer to go out for a meal. That is my hobby. Sharon saying, I can't speak today. My perfect birthday, going fishing and looking for artifacts and other Indian relics. Wow, that's a very entertaining birthday. Steve says, slap up McDonald's. Oh, talking about going out, those of you who may be watching later, those of you in the chat, I believe some people said they were going to come and visit me. This was a long time ago, and they said in so many years' time. Well, I'm pretty sure we must be at that point to those people who said that. Because some of them were people I knew when I first started YouTube, and they said in years to come, the distant future, in say 2 years' time, 3 years' time, whatever. I think your time is up, you people. I did message one person who I was pretty sure they said this year was, I say this year, next year. For me, it's the new year because I start a whole new season now. But 2025, I'm pretty sure there's some of you out there that said you were going to come and stay with me. All I ask, if you are contemplating it, to stay with me, I can't have workaways at the same time, which is fine. So what I'm saying is tell me in advance before I put workaways in. That's all. That's all. And talking of which, my last volunteers have just emailed me again today. Yay. And they tell me they're coming out again in 2025, work permitting. Ooh, I loved them. I really did. Sharon says, hey, Steve, watch eating at McDonald's, E. coli virus in the quarter pounders at McDonald's. I'm pretty sure now, though, Sharon, most foods, unless you're growing it yourself, have all sorts of plastic. I'm surprised. People are telling me in England how much plastic there is in most things they eat. We all know, I hope, chewing gum has always been made of plastic. That's what chewing gum is. That's why my mother told me, never swallow chewing gum. In fact, I wasn't even allowed it. But she said that was the reason we weren't allowed it. If you swallow it, it is plastic. And that was way back in the 60s, that was known. Fillet of fish is my favourite. Oh, I'm a meat eater. I don't like fish burgers. I'd have like fish and chips, like cotton chips, something like that. But I wouldn't like it in a burger personally. Steve is a 194-year-old man. Oh, sorry, Steve, I misread that. Steve, one 94-year-old man has passed away, 194 others hospitalised recently. Mine to Steve. Thumbs up. I hope you gave me a thumbs up, Sharon. I can't see my thumbs up on when you do Streamlink Yard, you can't see thumbs up. So I hope you're all giving me my thumbs up. Oh, and my birthday video on this channel, it said something about funny birthday video. I'm still looking for 60 thumbs up on that video because it was my 60th birthday. And you don't have to be having a birthday to watch it. There's some funny clips in it. So go on I'm sure it's called my funny birthday video, and hit the thumbs up there and share it. I want 60 thumbs up on my 60th birthday video. Steve says, don't eat there much. My kids don't want to go. I didn't used to like going when it was Ronald McDonald and they used to have someone dressed up as him all the time in there. I didn't want that. And then they had that, what was that? Like the Cookie Monster. What did they call him? He was like blue or purple and someone dressed up as him. I didn't want all that. And then that freaky, who was the thief, burger thief? Oh, Burglar, wasn't it? What was he called? Something Burglar. I don't like people dressing up in costumes like that. I couldn't go to all these American football games where people dress up. I don't find it funny or anything. I was like, no. Barney, says Sharon. Sharon's saying, yes, don't always give thumbs up. Bless you, Sharon. Sharon says, Barney. I don't like anything like that. No. I wouldn't go to Disneyland. That would be like, no. No, that's not somewhere I want to go. No, thank you. I don't know quite what it is. I just find it silly. Not funny. Pointless. I know the American football it's like their mascots, isn't it? I know that it's their mascots. Still not interested in it. I'm the person who's looking the other way. I'm not like got phobia against it or anything like that. I'm just like, nah. Yes, the purple dinosaur. Yeah, not me. Any children's programs like that where they always have to have a puppet or something like that in all these programs, human and a puppet. I say that, you used to watch Basil Brush, Stephen O. Basil Brush. As a little kid, yeah, okay, but nah. Or every program's got to have an animal. An animal and a human, or a human and a puppet, or a human and someone dressed up. Oh dear. I'll just say one word, Steve. Rainbow. It's a children's program. Stephen know that. Nah. But in Rainbow, there were two like hand puppets. If you look it up on YouTube, you'll see how awful it is. And a man, and then a man dressed up as a bear. And the bear was called Bungle. And I had to kind of like Bungle because every year, I reckon it was the actor who was dressing up, it was his birthday, because it was always Bungle's birthday on the 6th of December, which is my birthday. So I was like, oh, my birthday is the same day as Bungle the bear. Steve says, Barney, glad I don't have to listen to the Barney song anymore. I'm glad that's an American thing. I know of it. We had the Teletubbies. Okay, let's have another question. What's your favourite way to travel? Oh, plane or train? Train trumps plane, just about. Plane, I love going up and seeing, like pre-drone days, looking down and seeing land. You know, when you're just coming down to land and it looks like a little model village, and I like that. I like trains. I just love going on trains. I I like looking all the back gardens. As you go past in England, you could see all the gardens. I like looking in all the gardens. Something I didn't ever do is the only thing I would still like to do, but it's not possible now for me, is to do a train holiday. Not one where you have to keep getting in and out and swapping trains, not like traveling Europe or whatever like that. One where, not Orient Express, I'm not into expensive silliness, like things are extravagantly priced, but you don't get a lot for it. Something like going through Switzerland on a train, and yeah, that kind of thing where you're going to see things. Something like going through Switzerland. It doesn't have to be Switzerland, but somewhere like that, going through on the train, stopping off, seeing the sights, getting back on the train. Something like that, some train holiday. I would still have liked to do, I'm not a great cruise lover as in these great big ones. We did 2 cruises for our honeymoon, but not the huge ones. I wouldn't do that. There's not enough lifeboats, there never is. But the smaller, more intimate cruises, we did 2. And when we were in Egypt for one of the cruises, you then went on a riverboat. And I quite like that again because it's smaller and you can see more. You're not just out in the middle of the ocean having to entertain yourself, and there's entertainment. You might as well be on land if you want that sort of holiday, in my opinion, and just fly to where you want to go. That's my preference. But I did enjoy the river cruise because you can see everything all the time. There's things to look at. And again, that was more intimate. So a river cruise, I think I would have quite liked that because we did it down the Nile. So maybe I would have looked into a river cruise again. Yeah, if I've got to pick one, it's difficult. I'd say train, but there's no trains in Cyprus. No trains in Cyprus. No more trains for me. Steve saying bicycle. Steve says, when I was younger, bicycle. Now I have plans to kayak and boat. Cool. Nice and slow. Yeah, nice and slow. That's my preference. Okay, what's the time? Another question. What is your favourite season? Spring. Now I'm in Cyprus, spring. I love the hot for the summer and I love just lazing around, but spring for me is all the wild flowers everywhere. The birds all come out. It's green here. For the early part of the spring, we have grass. So it's very green everywhere rather than being like desert the rest of the year. So we've got grass now. I like, oh, look, grass. It's like a thing. Oh, grass. And it's like, oh, I know, I've got to deal with that. So we have grass, 2 months? Depends on if we get rain or not. 2 to 3 months tops for grass. So spring, definitely. I like to go for walks. And as I say, all the wildlife's coming out. You get baby goats and baby lambs and all the birds singing. Spring, says Steve. Sharon's saying Barney was a nightmare. Oh dear. Steve says also the end of the summer, if not too hot. Yeah, summer's a nice time. But spring, you can still do things as well. I can go out for walks. I can't go out for long walks in the summer. It's too hot. And you can't get things done. So spring overall, but the most reason is because the wildflowers everywhere, and I mean everywhere. When you're on the mountainside, it's just covered in wild flowers. And then you hear me in my videos, the first flowers come up. We've got the first spring flowers up now. And every year I film, go, oh, look, these come out. Oh, these are my favourite. And then a few more different ones come up another week. I go, oh, these are my favourite. I do have lots of favourites of spring flowers. Sharon saying my favourite season is the fall pecan season. Oh yeah, Sharon loves her pecans. Sharon loves her pecans. Okay, favourite board game. I was just watching it's a TV programme, but it's on YouTube. I was just watching a little clip of that just before I did my live. And I like looking at when you have, I don't know what you guys call it out there, like a daily programme, like a morning programme, morning show or something like that. And they've got like, I forget what you call that sort of thing, magazine programme, I think they call it. And they have lots of different items in the programme with different presenters. And then you might get the weather in it and the news in the middle of it. And I was just watching one of those sort of programmes. And I like looking at what toys are the trend of the year for Christmas and what games there are out for Christmas. And I was watching the bit where they were showing you all new board games, because, you know, I love board games. I can't buy them now, but I just like to see them, what there is, and how expensive they are for a few bits of cardboard that's a board game. And I was watching that, and I was getting really like het up, because all these little slots of what they do within the programme have got a time limit. So they have to get this slot done by a certain time, because that's how the programme's planned. And there's an awful woman presenter on this programme. It's an English programme, and they've got this awful woman on it who's got no presenting skills. She's got no skills, full stop, but she's got no skills. And she kept having to hear her voice. Oh, look at that. And she kept on and on. She wasn't presenting this slot, but she was there looking at the man who was showing them all. And she kept interrupting. And I thought, because I used to be in TV, I like, you've got to move on. Shut up. Be quiet. He's got to get on the next one, because they had them all out on podiums and he was walking along telling you a bit about each one. And I know slot times, you're not going to get all that done. Can someone tell her just be quiet in her earpiece? Just be quiet now, because they've been sponsored to show all these games. No, didn't get them done. I would say they got half of them done. And I was so annoyed. I want to see. I want to see the games, what they all were and how to play. And that was annoying. That was annoying. I said Sharon loves her pecans. She says, I sure do, Dawn. Steve says the fall is nice here. It's the leaves change colour. Yes, some places have beautiful autumns. Colorado have all the aspen trees, and where Jimmy is, in New Hampshire, beautiful. Okay, Sharon's got to go. Thanks for being here, Sharon. That was lovely to catch up with you. I think it's time we got another little Christmas interlude slot coming right up. I know what Steve's been. Okay, let's have another question, Q&A. What is your best way to spend alone time? Oh, that's easy. I do like a bit of that. I do like that. Me and Mike will sometimes go off in our own rooms, and people always think, oh, we've got different rooms. If you come and visit, you'll get the hang of it a bit more. But it's like some people have a study, or what else would you have? An office, or this is my room. This is my room. So sometimes we go off and do our own things, or we'll often say to each other, like if we have breakfast, and then I'll say, oh, what have you got planned today? And he knows Monday and Wednesday I've got my YouTube stuff to do, so he plans accordingly. Then other days, oh, what are you doing? Well, I'll say, oh, I'm gardening today. I'll be over in that area if you want me. And then we'll go off and do our own things, but we're always around. We're around. So my downtime, I do like to just sit and chill out and watch easy watch things, say YouTube, or I'm watching Grange Hill at the moment, the old Grange Hill from the 70s and 80s. It was a children's programme about everyday school life, like a soap for children, if you like, but it was very good. It was very real, and they brought up sort of issues and things. So I'm watching the reruns of those. I'm on series 12 at the moment, getting a bit annoyed because every now and then one's missing, and that is often an actor has made a contract to say if there's any reruns of anything, then they want to be paid. So if someone's showing a whole series, they have to take those ones out. So I'm a bit annoyed when one goes missing because the story continues all the time. So I do that. I obviously like my cross stitch. I prefer cross stitch to embroidery, but I'm doing both. So I like to do that. I love to read. My friends give me loads of puzzles to do. I must start another puzzle. So I've got a whole pile there. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 now because she came the other week and she gave me some more. So I must do some. Then I can give some back. So I've got puzzles there. Do like to do those. As I say, downtime? Best way to spend alone time. I was going to say go out and eat, but that's not alone. Alone time, going for my walks. Mike doesn't like to go for walks, so I have to do that on my own. I do like that. That's probably one of my favourite things of all, just to go out for a walk. If it's raining, you guys know I don't do rain. So if it's raining, I wouldn't go. If it's cold, I wouldn't go. I'm a fair weather person. So I do like to do my walks. Yeah, that's definitely my favourite thing for alone time. Steve says, seems to be YouTube at the moment. Yeah, bless you. Bless you. Podcast. Now, my podcast I only listen to when I'm gardening or doing something outside. I won't sit and listen to a podcast indoors, but I know you've been doing ebooks. I think you've been doing listening books. What else? I do like when I'm in the mood to do a good declutter and sort out stuff. When I lived in England, I used to rearrange the house a lot. That wasn't because I was unsettled. I just like setting rooms out. But this room is set out absolutely perfectly now. I don't think I'd ever change it. I can't see a way of making this room any better now. It feels spacious. There are videos on, I think, my other channel showing you this room because I did a whole clear out of this room. And I've got filing systems going on for my paperwork. It's pretty much, I think, as good as this room can get now. It's pretty clear and organised. Yes, I don't think you'll see any more organisation of this room. But yeah, everything kind of works really well. So there definitely won't be any rearranging of this room. But that's something I like to do. Let's have one more question. Let's see. What was your favourite childhood toy? Well, I've got a few still, so we're going to have to say it's one of what I've still got. It's got to be most played with, hasn't it? I think my doll's house. I'm going to say my doll's house because I kept that. I've still got it here, and I did play with that a lot. So I'm going to say that. I've got some of my teddies, which I've shown in videos before. So they're more, more in my heart, those. But my favourite, I think I've got to say my doll's house. That and my Cindy dolls, which are like Barbie, but more realistic. I did play with that a lot as well. I'd say they were probably my most played with toys. I didn't keep those, but because they were worth too much money to sell and use that money to move here, basically. But yeah, my doll's house. I'm going to say my doll's house. Steve says bicycle. I was never allowed a bike. I had one when I was, I'm going to say, in my 20s. 20s. I'm not sure exactly how old. Later 20s, mid to mid 20s. I'm going to guess my mid 20s. I might be wrong. And I had one because I was going to college, but as an adult. So not like you go to college, like adult learning. What do they call it? Called it something when you go to college, but as an adult. Not adult education, I know that, but mature student. That's it, mature student. So I went as mature student. I've talked about this before. It was because they said they were going to bring into England a law that if you even helped with children in any way or went to a church, did Sunday school or anything you were in contact with children like that, you were going to have a qualification of working with children. So though I was already running my stage school and I had qualifications for that, there weren't checks on anything like that. But if you worked in a school, when you got your qualification as a teacher, you had checks then as part of the when you enroll, let's put it that way. And so I thought, well, hold on, if they're going to bring this in, all these courses, college courses and whatever else, are going to be absolutely full. And they were just talking about it. So I signed up, and that's how I got qualified in education. I got a teaching qualification for like education, school education. And I can teach from zero, say nursery schools, from 0 to high school. That's what I'm qualified in, to teach any subject up to high school. And I thought, right, I'm going to do that. It'd be something on paper as well. And I also did psychology, child psychology, as a sideline of that. So I got qualifications and I thought, yeah, I'll do that. They didn't then bring that in, but I didn't waste my time because pass that with flying colours, because obviously working with children at the stage school, I did a lot of work one-to-one prior to that with children that were bereaved and had issues, and so I already knew how to do those sort of things anyway, but that's what I did. Steve saying, I can remember mum and dad buying my first bicycle. What colour was it? Teaching my sister to ride a bicycle. Wow. Yeah, so I had no concept of riding a bike. When we went to holiday camps, when we were teenagers, you could hire a bike and ride around the camp. We weren't allowed on roads or anything like that. And I remember I found it very hard to ride a bike. If you haven't ridden one before, it's very difficult. But I got one to go to college, as you know, don't drive. And I could walk it. I could take buses. You had to take 2 buses to get there. And I could walk. But sometimes I needed to get back early to do my stage school. So I needed speed. So, yeah, I rode a bike. Yeah, I rode a bike. Wow. Green, says Steve. Wow, green. Green. I think we'll do another little interlude. So I'm going to finish there. Thank you to those who joined me live on my live. Thank you to all of you watching back later. Really appreciate it. As I always say, drop a comment in so I can say hello personally to you, and thank you for watching this back later. Don't forget to go over to Steve and Tina Jules' channel and congratulate him on his award. So thanks for being there. Thanks for moderating, Steve. And I will see you all Friday on my other channel, I'm going to do a live stream talking about Friday the 13th. So if you go on my other channel, I've actually done a different thumbnail for that says all about Friday the 13th. So you can check that out. Steve saying thanks, have a great week, and thanks. And if you're not able to go over there, then I will see you again with more Christmas themed lives on Monday. So see you then. Until then, Meraki.